Is it really that hot?
Not today. $59 and 301.
What is it?
301 here and 250.
Well, call the meeting to order. To approve minutes. In a second.
Yeah, I'm sick.
Are there any changes or things that need? Okay. They're good to go. None, all in favor, say aye. Approve the minutes. Aye. Oppose. Motion carries. I don't see any public. Are you public or are you?
No.
You're on professional business.
That's all.
Discussion of possible motion highway request to fill vacancy.
We got two positions open, we'd like to fill. We down to one in 2 weeks back, down to one position, and then we had one open back up again. So we'd like to go hire 2 positions. I think it was still our trucks. All the time, we're fortunate this year, we got summer help to flag for our crew, otherwise then we've had less people in our equipment. Our equipment generates our equipment fund, so when you use your equipment, that's how you generate your equipment fund, that's how it can. Like to fill these 2 positions if possible.
Anybody have any questions?
Right. Yes.
These are already budgeted, right?
Correct.
These like retirements or just leaves?
Kind of had a little bit of both, I guess.
A little bit of both what?
Retirements and leaves.
Okay.
One
You
retired,
got a workers' comp,
2,
two workers' comp.
yeah.
You're down how many? Last time it was like 6.
Right now, it'd be
We brought
5, 2 outside, or excuse me, 2 hurt, 2 not fires, and then where you don't have an operation. Technically, we don't have a full-time mixture, but
Right, right.
so it'd still be 6 technically.
But you're better anyway because you can actually work.
I recommended filling them, yeah, especially with where we're at with some work comp right now and down the road, I don't know, we have a couple that may be looking at leaving, not too away. That one that,
This particular city be gone in fall. By the time snowfall flies, he doesn't want to be here, so.
and I don't know if our two work comp will even be fully back by then either, and so I would say they probably, what you guys have planned for this summer, I think we need these two. I don't know what your thoughts are.
Yeah, from an operations standpoint as well, I would agree with Justin that right now we barely have enough to have a paving crew. We can't really afford not to fill these positions, especially if the highway committee decides to open up the plant.
Yeah.
Right now, the shop has got a sign on the door, says closed. We got our shop crew out there trying to keep things operational.
Yeah.
I was out there, picked the water truck up, brought it back, filled it up so they could keep on with the whole.
And are you guys interviewing? Do you have interviews for some coming up or no? In the pipeline?
No, we can't post for the job until,
A previous, when we approved them previously, those were
no,
already.
because these are two new ones.
I know, but the ones we previously filled, have they been, or approved, have they been filled?
Yes.
Okay.
We don't get many apps so we don't have anybody that even we did interview that's like, hey, let's go pull from them. Otherwise, we would probably, with it being so close, if you approved these and, we just interviewed, say, 4 last round and we hired 2 and liked 2 more, we could, but we unfortunately aren't in that situation either.
Okay.
So we will have to re-interview.
The one leaving in the fall, is that a retirement?
Technically, yes, He's only been with us for a year, maybe a year and a half now. Basically, he took the job, from what he tells us, to work until his wife retired, so then he was gonna retire.
Okay.
I'd make a motion to approve.
Second,
I'll second it.
any other discussion? All in favor to approve highway worker positions, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Justin.
Good luck. Admin.
Okay, so in your packet are both the corp council and the admin HR budget. No concern on corp council. Admin HR, same concern as last year. We are over on the contracted services line due to that employee grievance matter. We still have not received reimbursement for the grievance half of the IHO. Brittany reached out again, asking for that. And then negotiations with the sheriff deputies, as this committee knows, is still ongoing. We are looking fine in that budget line for now, but that could change depending on how things go with that.
Going on with that.
Do you wanna, that with the
Let's
negotiation?
just fill them in a little bit.
We have the jailer dispatcher union negotiations. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, what's going on with negotiations?
Yeah, the jailer dispatcher one we did at the county board, so that was ratified.
No, I'm at the
Sheriffs.
sheriff's.
Yeah, I don't think I can say too much in open session besides we're still no closer than we were before. But kind of-
Probably.
Yeah, so I don't have any date of when we will be able to start negotiating with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, again.
Yeah.
So if I had to guess, I'd say beginning of August is probably when we would start negotiating them with them again. They have to go through a few more steps yet in their process, so before we can officially start.
What are the advertising expenses we're looking to lower to help out with this budget? Those pertain to,
Advertising positions in the newspaper.
so strictly for rehiring type of stuff, that's where that's coming from. I think we're gonna be able to lower that.
Yes.
We don't ever do that. We don't get applications from the newspaper.
Oh, okay.
No,
No, because they have to go online anyway too, so really, especially
You're really not using it?
yeah.
How much is that?
I think it's 5,000. We have expended some of that. Just if you give me a second here, I can look it up for you.
Like that's where that finance director recruitment would have came out of too. Like if we, did a special recruitment like we talked about for that, either through like your best bet, I wouldn't probably do the newspaper anymore. You do something online where you could sponsor it on certain sites online.
LinkedIn.
I was gonna say it's $1,500 total, and we've expended $158. So if we don't expend any more of that, and if we get the half that we are owed from the grievance, then we should end up better in that line. But there was also the court reporter that we were not planning on. That was at the grievance request. We pay, I think it was $1,800 for our half of the court reporter. That was unexpected as well.
Then aren't we expecting something back from the state, but maybe not from the interpreter? Or is that just different?
No, I think we paid, that was included in that. Yep. So that has finally hit.
Okay. Good. Cool. Resources. Okay. Motion to approve the budget report from admin. Second, All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carries.
Oh, never mind.
Or human resources. You gotta keep me on track.
Sure.
I hit my head.
That's not too yesterday.
That tree hit me.
So we heard.
Oh, this morning, Lynn tried to give me a lobotomy in my sleep.
Okay, so for our human resources report, we had 5 terms in the month of May, so 5 people that had their last day in May. They were our patrol sergeant, an elder benefit specialist, dealer dispatcher, a forester, and a highway worker. 5 terms that we saw. In May, we did have 9 hires. 4 of them were our summer help workers. So we had 2 highway worker summer help, 2 forestry summer help, and then 5 full-time employees. We had 3 highway workers that we brought on board in May, a social service worker, and then 1 jailer dispatcher. Total, we have 14 positions that are not filled with the county. We have a finance director, 2 highway workers, 2 patrol deputies, 3 jailer dispatchers, 1 social worker, 1 elder benefit specialist, 1 forester, a land conservation admin assistant. And then we have that operations manager and the highway commissioner job that we are going to be talking about posting in June. We're bringing that back to we talked about them at the May highway committee meeting, and they asked that we update some job descriptions, bring those back to the June highway committee meeting. So we'll be discussing those again in June. Any questions?
And you have a lot of interviews scheduled, right? So of that list, how many?
Yes.
Yeah.
are-
Yep, so far this week, we did forestry interviews and jailer dispatcher. Jail dispatch, we're reposting. And then a forester, I think we will hire from that batch that we did. And next week, we do have social worker, finance director, land con, an elder benefit specialist.
That's
So
good.
how many down is the jailer dispatchers? How many?
3 right now, and one of them we have a conditional offer out, which means there's a pretty good chance that that one will be filled. So we're hoping we'll only be down 2.
And you have another interview next week for one?
No, we did interviews this week, and we're reposting for the position. So we'll repost that for another 2 weeks. And we have patrol deputy interviews next week as well.
Do we have a feel for, the budget variance, the positive variance because of all the openings? Budgeted and not filled?
I don't. In our jail dispatch and our patrol, it equals out because it's lower for that, but higher for overtime, so that is pretty equal. Some of these other,
I'm just curious.
Elder benefit specialist and social worker, those are pretty much levy hits, I think, right?
Other benefits. Is
Is that a part of the consortium?
Does it? Okay. No, it's not part of, those positions are not part of the consortium, no. That would be your,
Yeah.
yes.
Oh, I'm thinking of the other maintenance.
Yeah. Yep.
Your way to get that number? Talk to finance?
Yeah, we can get numbers for you for next
I'm
meeting.
just curious.
Highway, I'm guessing it's probably not a lot. It's probably a net neutral almost to what you think.
Well,
Yeah, the
If we're not,
truck is not on the road, they're not
Right,
generating
yeah,
revenue.
right.
so it would really be with our social worker and our elder benefit specialist. Land con.
Ops management.
yeah,
It-
highway administration is generally a levy.
What we also do with Kern, so
Okay,
yeah, we could see what that looks like.
again, I'm just curious. If it's gonna help out or not. I mean, it's bad thing think it's a good thing, but I'm just curious what the number is.
I mean, with that many openings too, we're saving on like our insurance plans and stuff. I've noticed the bill has been down. That kind of stuff too, because we're not paying for those insurance plans and.
I mean, that's not a way you want to balance the budget. Yeah, just curious. That would be Bianchi. Yeah. Bianchi? I was wondering one of those. You have a Bianchi?
Yeah.
You have one?
Mhm.
Wow. Give it a reason.
Yes,
Well, I know where to order them. Are you done? Or-
I can do my number 2 then if you want. So approve changes to chapter 4, section 2 of the Russ County Employee Handbook. So as you guys know, in May, the county board passed resolution 3125 to edit chapter 2 of the Russ County Handbook that speaks to those employment categories and compensation plan. So that compensation plan does outline and gives direction to now how we handle job promotions, job transfers, reassignments, lateral transfers, all of that type of information. So there is a line in chapter 4, section 2, letter A, you guys can see where it addresses promotional opportunities. So the line there states that all job promotions, transfers, reassignments, or lateral transfers are at the discretion of the personnel committee. So that line would no longer be applicable since that comp plan now spells out how we handle each of these, which a lot of that is still coming to the personnel committee. It just now spells out in each separate paragraph of that comp plan that was approved by the county board, how those things would happen. So just asking that we can strike that line and then add in that promotional opportunities are going to follow the compensation plan that is outlined in chapter 2, as the board had just approved that and passed that last month. So because that would be aligning with the compensation plan passed by the full board, and the personnel committee does have jurisdiction over this handbook. If passed today, the change wouldn't have to go on any further because that whole board just voted on the plan. So now we're simply cleaning up some other language that is now contradicting to what was passed at the full board.
And this will keep us away from making arbitrary decisions. Right.
Yeah, because we'll follow that compensation plan that the full board passed. Yep.
Was that in there again? Promotions, you said promotions have to come back to the personnel committee
No.
in the new language?
No, promotions don't.
Okay,
You said the handbook is for the personnel committee, right? Is that what
Yeah, the handbook is under the personnel committee. So since it was the board's full intent, they passed that of the comp plan. We wouldn't have to take this little language since the handbook, the personnel committee oversees the handbook. This wouldn't be a big enough change that would have to go back through like full board and all of that with that passing of the comp plan. You have to look up the comp plan if you wanted the exact languages of what the promotion says.
is Ashley, are you able to put it on the,
Yeah, what do you want I can pull it probably out of the packet. Maybe.
You can pull the handbook on the website.
Or on the Z.
Yeah. Yeah, so any promotion requested to be brought in higher than the established promotional scale above would still be required for approval of the personnel committee. So if they're not following that, it would come to the personnel.
So, and then be the department head that makes that request, or who would,
That makes a request for what?
promotion requested be brought in higher than the established promotional scale, who makes that?
Yeah.
request?
That promotion shall be approved by department head, HR and administrative coordinator.
But typically, it's a department head initiating that conversation with HR.
Yeah, it's not following the thing, the procedure.
You have to have some pretty strong.
And to approve changes, chapter 4, section 2 of the Rutherford County Employee Handbook.
Yeah, we should.
Actually, the previous action by the board really nullifies this anyway.
Yeah, that's her point.
Yeah, and that's why
Have it in there.
Oh, yeah, but
All in favor of the motion, say aye.
I,
Opposed? Carried.
I think we just set a new record.
Holy cow.
5 o'clock somewhere, motion to adjourn,
So move.
in favor?
I
3:21.
think the chair seconded it.
Pardon?